Hi folks, I'm Judd. I'm an astrologer with 35 years astrological experience behind me, and these are my astrological forecasts for January 2015. Enjoy. And this is the global forecast for January 2015. I'll do the astrology first and then I'll try and summarise it. Let's get the minor stuff out of the way. The minor stuff is that Saturn's moved into Sagittarius. He's particularly doing nice things to a few of you, those of you born at the start of Aries and Leo, and to a lesser extent Aquarius and Libra. You're doing well. Saturn's being your friend. He's bringing a few blocks into those of you born at the start of Virgo, Pisces, Gemini and Sagittarius, but only in ways that make you become more self-disciplined and focused. So I'm not worried about Saturn. He's not going to be a major role player on the global stage, except as a kind of definer of boundaries around the 20th, when Mars comes into play with him. We'll come to that one. Jupiter's standing still in Leo and moving backwards. No big deal, apart from a sudden surge of Jupiterian energy around the period of December 29 through to January 3, when Mars is going to be strongly opposing Jupiter from Aquarius, and this is likely to create some type of, I don't know, gravitational pull thing that's going to create a degree of excess in certain areas, almost like a sunspot, but from Jupiter. And that's in the first few days of January. It's only really not going to be affecting that many individuals. So that's Jupiter and Saturn kind of out of the equation. Neptune's boogieing along well in Pisces at the moment, getting ready for it's really putting out some tendrils, going, come on, I'm ready for some influences now. And indeed, Neptune's going to get some strong influences later in the month. It is the big picture that concerns me more, and we start off with the full moon on January the 5th at 14 degrees of Cancer, with the Sun at 14 degrees of Capricorn, and Pluto at 13 degrees of Capricorn, and Uranus at 12 degrees of Aries, and the Node at 15 degrees of Libra. Big Grand Cross pattern. Continuation of the Grand Cross pattern from 2014, even before them, but the beginning of the end. Those of you who have listened to the sun sign videos for Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, you'll see that in many ways I've talked about this next 3 months as now as being endgame, and this full moon is the beginning of the end for a number of political, economic game plans and figures. There's going to be some conclusions being drawn at the start of January, which will lead to action, which will lead to irrevocable and permanent change by the start of April, because from April onwards this is done. Once you're into mid-January, we've got an unusual phenomena of having Mercury, Venus and Mars all in Aquarius, which is all going to hit the fixed signs a bit, but no big deal, it's only day by day stuff. But there's going to be a Mercury retrograde as well in Aquarius. So individually you all have to look at which house of your chart Mercury retrogrades in to sort of see how it's going to affect you. But whilst it's not going to be particularly challenging any of the large-scale outer planets during its retrograde process, it's still going to bring a degree of uncertainty and confusion into a lot of negotiations and contracts. And this starts around the 21st. Yeah, around the 21st of January. The Aquarius new moon at the very, very start of Aquarius on the 20th of January symbolises this Mercury retrograde beginning. Then Mars moves into Pisces, and here we get the flashpoints. Mars will square Saturn. Mars squares Saturn around the 15th, 16th, 17th of January, and if there's going to be any sort of flashpoints in terms of out and out rebellion against authority, then this is when it's going to show, particularly any type of religious backlash. Similarly, a few days later, when Mars conjuncts Neptune around the 19th, 20th, 21st, it does suggest, on the one hand, a great period of spiritual illumination and enlightenment, but equally at the same time, major issues around religion coming to the fore, and this is going to be the taster for much later in the year. Religions and things like this are going to become much more of the main theme, more of an economic and political, once we're into the second half of 2015. But in January, with Mars in Pisces, I don't expect this situation to be going away. It's going to be getting stronger and stronger. And I do expect this to be a somewhat provocative month, The start of the month is particularly hairy for a few people, and then the more we get into the end of the month, the more we're going to see questions of faith and belief becoming more and more important. If I were dealing with the Earth as a client and the human race as my clients over the coming 12 months, knowing that there's a Mercury retrograde as well, I would be saying that have an open-minded and experiential month, but by all means make decisions, but it's not yet time for actions. There you go, folks. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope it was fun and informative. Big thank you to all those people who have contributed to help me keep this going. Astrology is free, and it should be, so that's why I'm keeping it free, but it's only the donations that you send me that helps. Thank you. I'm doing quite a few gigs this month. Look at my website for details, and now I can formally announce, as of 1st of January 2015, both the second edition of the Bedroom Astrologer and the first hardback edition of the Law of Pluto, Reshaping the Void, are now in my office, available for public sale. Details, steve@stevejudd.com. Have a great month. See you next time. Bye.